tell you this, these were bad people. That was a bad group of, as I say, hombres. That was a bad group. When you look at them and you look at the crimes that they've committed, you take a look. You don't get any tougher. You don't get worse than that.
And now they're gone. President Trump defending his move to deport suspected TDA gang members as Democrats side with foreign terrorist organizations that's responsible for some horrific crimes against American citizens. I'm not sure why. You got new footage showing hundreds of illegal criminal gang members from Venezuela getting dropped off at a mega prison in El Salvador. They get free haircuts. That's a good thing. President Trump deported them under the Alien Enemies Act. A federal judge tried to block the move, and a hearing on that is currently underway. The Trump DOJ apparently wants the judge tossed off the El Salvador deportation case. Now, the White House claims the migrants were already on the flights and out of the U.S. This actually was true when the judge made his decision. Plus, they had good reason to get them out quickly. Watch.
These are monsters who tortured, raped, and murdered a 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungre.
And they tortured her to death. They sexually assaulted her. They stripped her and they dumped her body in a river. That's who President Trump has deported from this country. Behind every single one of those terrorists was another future rape victim, another future sex trafficking victim, another future murder victim.
But as usual, reminders like that of the gang's brutality never seem to get mentioned by Democratic lawmakers or the pundits in the media. Check this out.
What he is doing to Venezuelans is disgusting. But you know what? You voted for that. You're finding out.
Any one of us could find ourselves being deported to some country.
It is the fact that we can't trust this administration to actually use a scalpel, but instead they love to use a butcher knife on things.
We're not going to be there to allow you to just take people off the streets and split up families.
We're not at war with the gang that is the subject of the executive order. There is no invasion that is going on.
There's the author of the Mueller report, by the way. All right, so TDA, we're just randomly grabbing Venezuelans, Judge.
Yeah,
and we're just putting them on planes, giving them that unitard, and telling them to go up there, tip your waitresses, give them a free haircut, and send them to prison. Why are we doing that?
Well, you got to be careful. I mean, if you watch The View, they could pick any one of us and send us out. Look, they are so not aware of what's going on. Tren de Aragua has been declared a foreign terrorist organization. As a result of that, there is an argument under the 1798 statute that has been the Alien Enemies Act that has been used 3 times, that they are a group that is actually involved with the Venezuelan government and the El Salvadoran government, and therefore they can be deported. Now, aside from the Alien Enemies Act, they are illegal. They are committing crimes, okay? We do not have to have them convicted of a crime to remove them. But the argument that the administration is making, which I think is brilliant, is this. They are saying that under Article 2 of the Constitution, the president has the authority to engage in foreign policy. And the president and Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, have been engaging in foreign policy with Berkeley as well as Maduro. And they have worked out an arrangement where Berkeley is taking these TDA members for $6 million, and a local judge, make no mistake, this is a local judge, folks, who is a trial judge. He's not even an appellate judge, thinks he can stop international diplomacy for national security issues that involve the American people because he's a local federal judge. He's stupid. And let me tell you one more thing. Tren de Aragua and MS-16. These people are savages. I used to prosecute them as a DA. They are brutal, medieval, barbaristic savages, and they should be removed from this country immediately without any explanation. And if the Democrats want to take the side of these savages, let them. But the truth is Donald Trump is protecting the Democrat big cities and the people who live in them.
Dana, it looks like there was 261 sent out, 101 were Venezuelans, but there's going to be a 2-week pause as the judge gets a chance to evaluate who the next group are, and is he allowed to do this?
I find it very hard to imagine that these gang members are going to get back on a plane and come to America and have hearings here. Like, I think
that's not going to happen.
That is definitely not going to happen.
The next group.
That's what the Democrats are thinking about that would happen. But the communications on this is so fascinating to me. So first of all, you have a judge that's sort of like, you know, like when a low-level security officer gets a whistle and then they just want to blow it all the time, and they feel powerful with the whistle. It sort of feels like that a little bit. I also understand there is due process. I get it, but I think I'm not going to argue the law. Of course, the judge has all of that. But this is how I think American people look at this. So you're telling me that one president can let all the TDA members come in, but the next president can't get them out? That doesn't make any sense to people. And the president is running circles around the opposition, and he baits them into defending the gang members. And again, then they're so mixed up in their own problems with Chuck Schumer and the anti-Semitism, and they don't have a coherent message just to be like, guys, we want them out of here too.
Right. So, Greg, were you upset when they didn't turn the plane around in mid-flight last day? Were you able to have a good weekend anyway? Look on the bright side?
I'm glad that, Brian, that this is funny to you. I'm sure you're getting a big kick out of these young men. We don't know how many of those men are honor roll students.
Right.
You don't know that,
I'm
right?
pretty sure they weren't.
Exactly. I can't. These are dreamers.
Right.
They're dreamers, and we're sending them out there. Some of them identify as grandmothers.
Right.
We're sending grandmothers back to dangerous countries. How soon will you find that one case? The Democrats will find that one case.
I already have it.
Yeah, I knew you did.
Of course.
Let me guess. Is his name Jose? Let's say Jose Cuervo. But he has a child with reverse dyslexia and a stutter. And now Jose is gone, and who's going to take care of this child? They do this with Doge, they do this with the abortion ruling, and they will find one example. You need only one example to derail adult-like behavior that makes sense to everybody. These are all criminals. What did I say in the A block? And be careful, Jessica. I don't want you to become this person. About the women who marry men on death row. You saw The View. You saw Crockett. You've listened to AOC. These are all young, and some really old women, like, defending killers and rapists. And it's like, you got to ask them, okay, would you be alone in a room with them? The people you're defending, would you get on a subway car with the Tren de Araguans or whatever they're called? They're just a club. But we totally glossed over the best part of this story. The video is amazing. It was like directed by Michael Bay or something. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Better than anything on Netflix. Anything. There was
Prison Break.
It was like there was nobody tied to a chair. There weren't like one woman beating up three guys, which happens in every like Jack Reacher episode. There was no Kevin Hart, no Nicole Kidman. It was like amazing.
No Nicole Kidman.
Right. But
she's in everything.
El Salvador, how about Marco Rubio worked out this deal with El Salvador the first week he was there.
Yeah.
He said, if you want, I'll take your prisoners. Venezuela, we can't count on them to put them in prison because they let them out one time. Just for the record, if you have reverse dyslexia, I don't think you have dyslexia.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I wrote down, too. I was like,
so just so you know,
that
means really.
I wanted to see if you were listening, Brian.
I was for a change, and thank you. I believe I passed the test.
Everything that you said.
Jessica, your thoughts? Do you miss them already, all those Venezuelans?
No. Listen, it's ludicrous to allege that any Democrat is losing sleep or upset over verified gang members who have raped and tortured and murdered Americans being sent out of here. Great if he negotiated that deal. I think we're paying $6 million to the El Salvadorian government for them to take them into these prison camps.
Get to the one case.
Funny you should mention that. No, there is good reason that everybody is saying alleged members and suspected members, because these people, as Dana said, have not gotten their due process. And there's an immigration attorney who has been posting about her client who was supposed to show up in court on Thursday, has been disappeared since then, is allegedly on this plane, and this person
what was he
is here.
Supposed to show up in court for?
He had a legitimate asylum claim. He had tattoos.
Legitimate asylum. It's not legitimate until a judge says it's legitimate.
But if you make it so that that person can't see a judge, then you're denying them their due process.
I don't know if I buy
What
it.
Trump is essentially saying is that the asylum system, as we know it, is done. That you can show up here and you're fleeing from persecution in Venezuela, for instance, and you don't get your day in court. So if that's what it is moving forward, then just say that. Be honest.
But you know the asylum system has been gamed.
Sure,
it is completely exploited by criminals.
Most don't even show up, and most don't get approval.
You can throw whatever you want at the wall. I'm still going to finish
not
what
at the
I'm
wall.
saying.
That's
No,
just
it is.
facts.
No, but but it isn't facts.
We
Because
should build a wall.
They're illegal. They don't belong here in the first place if they weren't invited.
Then just be honest and say it's not about getting criminals out. It's about getting everyone out who is here illegally. That we can pick up anyone, and that's not Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar. Obviously, they're not getting
You do
deported.
the worst first. That's what we're doing.
But why is this person?
See, one person.
No, but this is the first flight. Why can't you just wait to let everyone get processed?
So you agree?
Yes, it's the first flight
I
of
will give you this.
deportations of this
I'm going to
group.
give you this, Jessica. I'm so glad you agree with what's being done. You just have a problem with how it's being done. So we're making progress.
Right. I would say this. They've been rounded up. They got 37,000 have been rounded up, and I don't even think it's been quick enough. I think there's a lot more criminals. If there were no sanctuary cities, we would have had a lot of them.
But doesn't it, as an advocate for our legal system, and you certainly believe in due process, are you not disturbed by the idea that there could be people
No,
on
I'm not
this
disturbed
flight
because they're illegal and the
Why can't
entrance
they
into
claim
these-
asylum?
First of all, the Democrats couldn't even say the word lake in
Just-
Riley. Now they want to
That's
talk
not
on
true.
behalf of
And
Tren de
Biden said
Aragua.
it. You just didn't like how he said it.
I didn't like who said it.
No, he mispronounced
he
Well,
mispronounced it.
Marjorie
He said-
Taylor Greene yelled it out.
They couldn't
and
say
he didn't know what the
no,
name
he
was.
didn't
You
say
know
it
what
until
you're
they
doing.
demanded he say it.
You're saying
and you know
due
what?
process
Jocelyn
doesn't matter.
Ungary is another victim of Tren de
Jocelyn
Aragua.
Ungary,
Okay,
I'm
and
not
how
the
about
enemy
the
on this. I'm
apartments?
just saying, if you don't believe in due process anymore, then be honest about it, because
Right.
that's what's going on here.
The only due process I believe in is the legal way to enter this country.
But claiming asylum is legal.
Yeah, well, only if you do the legal process.
But they
you
tried,
don't come
and then
illegally.
they're being disappeared
No,
from their
no,
court
they're
hearing.
being disappeared.
They're-
Americans
look,
are being
look,
disappeared.
We're losing out on a lot of eligible bachelors for young women.
Right.
That's all I want to point out.
All right, 27 minutes now after the hour. Ahead. Before Elon Musk, Barack Obama was Doge's biggest fan. I'll explain next.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.